New this morning, the search is on for burglary suspects in Linda Vista. Thanks for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Neda Irampour. And take a look at what police had to respond to. This was while most of you were sleeping, about 1:45 this morning on Linda Vista Road. This is near Mesa College Drive. You see a couple businesses here impacted by these thieves, these burglars. When officers arrived, they found damage to at least 2 different restaurants. That's going to cost them a lot of money to repair. Investigators say the cash registers were also taken. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in this. Also this morning, the manhunt picking up for a fugitive who's accused of murdering his girlfriend in Tijuana.
And there are facial features that could make him easier to spot. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol live in San Ysidro now with how plastic surgery playing a big role in this. Dana Marie?
Well, good morning, Eric and Neda. That's right. CBS 8 working for you. We got brand new court documents letting us know more about Taylor Adams and how people are describing him as a master of disguise. We talked to his father, who shared that he first got plastic surgery as a teenager, and he recently had chin and cheek implants, which has been making him harder to find. But now we have this information, which is leading FBI to answers.
He's had so much plastic surgery that he doesn't look like his pictures when he was younger.
Now we're learning more about Tyler Adams and his criminal history. He crossed into the United States nearly 2 weeks ago and is accused of murdering his girlfriend in Tijuana. He currently is wanted by the FBI for questioning, so these new details about plastic surgery could help them find him. Now, he last used the alias Paul Phillips to father a baby girl in San Diego with his girlfriend Raquel Sabian. She was found dead last month inside her car in Tijuana. That baby girl right now does remain safe with Child Welfare Services in San Diego. Now, stealing identities and using fake names isn't new for Adams. In 2012, he was charged with felony identity theft for using his parents' name to purchase $3 million in real estate. He ended up pleading guilty to more than 40 felonies and was sentenced to 14 years in prison. When he got out, he was transferred to Hawaii to serve time for a previous bank fraud conviction, but he also escaped from custody. Now, if you see Tyler Adams or have any information, call the FBI because, again, he is still currently wanted for questioning in the murder of his girlfriend, Raquel Sabian. I'm here at the border in San Ysidro, so of course we're going to keep you updated on any further information that we get from authorities about this murder. Any further updates, you can check back on later editions of CBS 8 News or CBS8.com. I'm Dana Marie McNichol coming to you live.
Dana Marie, thank you. Today, the man accused of intentionally setting a brush fire in Carlsbad is scheduled for a court arraignment. 59-year-old David Prosser will appear in court virtually. Prosser was arrested and charged with resisting arrest and arson. Saturday's fire started near the Buena Vista Lagoon and burned 10 acres. No structures were damaged.
And now this morning, a plan to bring back legal cruising in a South Bay community may be picking up speed. We know a lot of people are excited about this, but then they had those fees put on them. CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us live in National City to explain how the state lawmakers are stepping in for this. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Neda. And it was actually the state assembly that went ahead and passed a resolution calling for cities to go ahead and end their bans on cruising. And actually what happened immediately after is San Jose actually yesterday went ahead and ended their ban on cruising. We also know that Sacramento as a city has ended their ban on cruising. So now, again, all eyes here on National City, on City Hall, trying to see if they will follow suit. Now, the United Lowrider Coalition here in National City has been lobbying hard to end that ban. It's been in place citywide since 1992. In fact, we were here the morning of the start of that pilot program that was launched by the city that was started to allow for cruising down Highland Avenue once a month. Unfortunately, it ended after the city and the coalition couldn't agree to have the coalition to pay about $18,000 per cruise for police and city services. However, the coalition says that they're staying positive. They're encouraged by the state assembly calling for an end to the bans. They're also encouraged by what Sacramento and San Jose is doing. And we've also already heard from some city leaders, including the mayor of National City, saying that they are encouraged as well, but they do want to look at potentially more at what could happen. And again, city leaders are on board with ending the ban, but they just want to make sure that they get it right.
it brings family and people together, and you know, it's part of who we are. And unfortunately, it's right now on the books. It's being criminalized, and we can't do that. We can't criminalize culture.
And that was Vice Mayor Marcus Bush. But for more on what the mayor of National City had to say about this movement, you can go to our website, CBS8.com, and click on that story link. As for the state Senate picking up this resolution, likely to happen in August when they reconvene. Eric Annetta.
Chris Groh, thank you for that update. And now this morning, the Biden administration rolling out details of how it plans to protect abortion rights. The new plan includes increasing access to abortion medication, ensuring privacy for patients and providers, and directing Medicare and Medicaid to protect family planning services. This all comes after the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade on Friday. And this morning, we're getting reactions to explosive testimony from a former Trump White House aide during a January 6th committee hearing. So Cassidy Hutchinson recounted what she was told about how former President Trump reacted when his chief Secret Service agent refused to bring him to the Capitol after his speech on January 6th.
The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his...
Now, Trump did post to his social media platform calling it a fake story, and a source close to the Secret Service tells CBS News the agent and the driver are prepared to testify under oath, and that source says they plan to refute the aide's claims that they were attacked and that Trump did not, in fact, reach for the steering wheel.
If you have a permit to carry a concealed weapon in California, a recent data breach may have exposed your personal information. Officials say the California Department of Justice suffered the breach as part of the launch of its 2022 firearms dashboard portal. This puts gun owners with concealed weapons permits at risk of exposure.
Most of my family members do not know that I have a concealed weapons permit. I have a good reason to get it. I got it because my spouse was being stalked by a violent abuser, and we went through a lot of a process to get that many years ago to provide us some peace of mind.
Justice Department officials pulled down the website and all related links after learning of the breach.
All right, checking in on our forecast. You know, we haven't seen this friend in a while, the marine layer. I don't know if people will call it a friend or not.
I feel like I would say it's a friend considering we've been pretty humid over the last couple days, right? So, you know, I'd say it's a friend. Sorry, I'm updating traffic maps here. So here I am in the corner making sure that we have those for you. But let's go back to what we've got as far as your forecast goes. Starting off with conditions right now. We are in the 60s. It is still a pretty warm start to the morning. 66 in San Diego right now. 69 in Oceanside, 65 in Escondido, and 64 in Poway. The sun's starting to peek through towards some of your inland valleys, but for the coastline, that marine layer is still pretty active to start off the day. We'll see that by the afternoon, conditions are going to warm up pretty nicely. 90s along your inland valleys, 85 for the mountaintops, and 111 for the deserts. The coastline is the place to be where temperatures are going to stay really mild, mid-70s or so. We stay in that mild range all the way through the rest of the week into the weekend. The weekend is where we really start to see those cooler temperatures come about. So keep that in mind. Although the coast will only mellow out by a few degrees, maybe cooling from 74 down to 70, inland will go from the mid-90s that we saw yesterday down to about the low 80s by the weekend and early next week. Mountains and deserts will cool down, not quite as much of a margin of a cool down that we'll see for your mountains and deserts. But I want to focus on your inland valleys where a lot of people are going to be over the next several days and where we're going to see the most intense cool down. So we go from the mid-90s today all the way down to the mid-80s by Sunday. Beyond that, it looks like we'll be in the low 80s for your 4th of July itself. Marine layer is active once again to kick off the day, so you can see how that is intact along our coastline. Up to the north of us, not quite as active, but there are some pockets of marine layer low clouds that are passing inland. When we zoom in specifically on San Diego County, you can see how this is stretching past the 5 freeway, but over the next several mornings, we'll likely see it stretch much farther inland towards some of your eastern valleys, especially toward your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday Thursday mornings. Time frames to kind of keep an eye on. But hey, cooler temperatures, less humidity out there. We'll finally head toward those kind of standard conditions out there. 6:10, let's talk about traffic. Want to take you up to the Oceanside area. We just saw this crash pop up. This is on the 76 westbound at the exit ramp to Coast Highway northbound. Not causing any major delays right now. You can see green across the screen there, doing all right. Taking you farther south, I want to point out what's going on the 805. Looks like there's a crash on the 54. This is on the 805 southbound just after the 54, so we're going to get more information from CHP, but also a situation that doesn't have any major backups or delays to start off the day.